Hey, hello everybody.
How are you?
Hi Amanda.
Hey Amanda, welcome to Thrive in the Arena episode 4.
Yay!
Thanks for having me on. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you.
Thank you so much. Guys, it's an honor to have our dear friend, beautiful friend, Amanda Leeds, this evening with us at our 4th episode at Thrive at the Arena. And it's a super honor to have you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for us. We really appreciate that. And we love to introduce our dear friend, guys, to you. So Amanda is a beautiful wife, an extraordinary mom, an extraordinary friend, and an exceptional property investor. I love you so much.
Love you.
And what you see, like this big smile and this positivity, this is literally every time that we have the honor to hang out with Amanda Leeds, this is what's happening. So we said, we love to have you on the show. You need to share your positivity.
Yes. Sprinkle it around. I know.
Han, I think we can't hear you.
I think we can't hear you. Look at the unmute.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Yes. So yeah, I was just saying, I know some people at the moment might be a bit down because we're all stuck inside and it can be hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I think it's just good to try best to remain positive and just think of happy thoughts.
That's right.
Yeah.
My love, could you share a little bit about yourself? So about your story. Give us a little bit of insight of who is Amanda Leeds.
So I'm a wife, I'm a mum, I've got 2 children, and I'm also a property investor. And yeah, basically day to day, I'm based at home most of the time, but I do help out a lot in the business, the property business. Me and my husband both invest in property. So that sort of takes up my time whilst I'm sort of working around, also just wanting to be there with the kids. Before I had children, I was fully immersed in the business, and I was actually running my own business, which would renovate properties for investors. So they'd buy a property and then I would basically renovate it and set it up for them to start getting an income from the property. So I was fully immersed in that. And then when I had children, I took a little bit of a step back and I decided that I just wanted to be full-time at home so I didn't miss out on, all the little moments with the children and stuff. I'm glad that I was blessed enough to be in that position to do that. And then now as they're getting older, I'm sort of half and half property and at home. But yeah, my biggest focus is my kids because that's where my joy comes from. So that's me really. And in and amongst doing that, I also love to do things for me. Going on training programs, like personal development programs. I really enjoy that. So if I'm like away from the kids and away from my husband, that's what I'm usually doing, traveling and doing that. So that's me in a nutshell, really.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
First of all, we love your kids. We love you guys, and we love your kids. The first time that we met Amanda and Samuel, we saw this beautiful young couple with a beautiful baby. Like Amanda,
Yes.
you were carrying Luke. He was so small, and we were like, wow. This is amazing. It was a business meeting where your husband was interviewing Robert Kiyosaki. So Samuel was interviewing Robert Kiyosaki, and we didn't know you. And what we saw was so beautiful, like a beautiful young couple leading by example and having their baby Luke back then with them. We love that so much, and we love to see more of that in the world outside. It's amazing how you lead by example and show your values, which is family and the kids, of course, first. And it's so important, especially in this season, to do that and to be also such a supporting wife. This is so important for all people out there. What is like one thing that you would say to a wife that really loves to support her husband, like on the biggest level, and especially if they have kids, like what is the one thing that they could get out of it and like implement in their life?
When you've got a husband who's like doing lots of stuff, like my husband's so busy, the biggest thing that I think I can provide for him is just support and sort of just encouragement. I think that it's good to always support your partner in what they do, because that's the only way that you can both uplift each other, and ultimately whatever they're doing is going to benefit you and the family as well. And it's a bit like what Elena Cardone talks about when she says, you're building an empire together. So as a wife, I don't think that it's a bad thing to be at home if you're a stay-at-home mom or anything like that, because I think you're sort of like the foundation, kind of keeping everything together. So there's lots of power that comes from that, because you then spur on your partner and really encourage them to really do great in whatever they're doing. So I think, you just have to be that positive person for your partner and not give them a hard time. If they're working hard, try and make their life as easy as possible. That's what I'd say.
That's huge. That's huge, because I mean, when you are in a situation like that, so we're not married yet. We're advocates for marriage, and we absolutely love married people, and we're also looking into that in the future. And what is important, like what we see, is to be a stand for your husband, and to be a stand for their growth, and not to be like, nagging, and you see like so many people, it doesn't really work out, but you lead by example, and you have this like perfectly figured out. I think
communication's key as well. Like you both have to communicate. So Samuel doesn't just go off and just do his thing, and then I'm sort of just left at home thinking, whoa, what's he doing? Like I think if you talk about it, make sure that you're on the same page and you both know, like, right.
Oh, we lost you again.
The mic. Amanda's coming back.
Yeah.
Give us a moment.
I don't know why it's trying to stop this, but I think as long as you both know, like, right, if your partner says this is these are the goals, this is what I'm trying to achieve, and you're both on the same page and you both communicate that to each other, then that probably saves a lot of trouble, because I think a lot of problems probably come from being on different pages, not really having the same goals and ideas of what you want your life to look like. So I think it's really important to communicate that and make sure that you both want the same things and you're not pulling in different directions. And that, if you're pulling in the same direction, then you can go further together.
This is so important. This is so important. What would you say to a new couple that it's starting out now, and they are in business, they're like entrepreneurs, and they don't really know about this type of communication? How can they start being like more authentic towards each other so that they can create this intimacy that you and Samuel have?
I think it's like, I say communication, but like when me and Samuel first started dating, we'd literally stay up on the phone to each other all night until like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, literally just talking through what like sort of things, what we wanted out of life, our deal breakers and stuff. So say if you're two people and you're both entrepreneurs and you both want to do big things, then I'd probably say then you kind of have to put everything on the table and say like, right, these are my goals in the next 2-3 years or however many years, this is where I see myself. And then also your partner says the same, and then see how you can sort of both cheer each other on to do those things and to achieve those things. And then I think if you both go in together knowing like, right, we're partners, I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, we're both going to be working hard. But if you know it's going to be like short term, say if it's like 2 years and then I'm going to be in the position where I want to be, and then we can settle down and then start a family. If you want to start a family, then fine. But I think just making sure that it's crystal clear that you both know like what you want, what your goals are, and then just encouraging each other, not trying to pull the other one down from, and put them in a box for what you think the ideal husband or the ideal wife should be. Just accepting them for who they are. And I'm guessing if you want to be together, then you'll have to accept each other and then go ahead and move forward and spur each other on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, this is gold. So if you're joining us right now, we highly recommend you grab a notepad and something to write, because Amanda is giving us some golden nuggets about how to be positive and how to basically build a life from that you love and that you're proud of as a couple from scratch. And this is the foundation, and not a lot of people talk about it. We always like hear, oh yeah, we're making it happen, we're making it work, but it's actually work. Like you said, it's so beautiful to know that when you started dating, that you were like so many hours on the phone, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and all of that beautiful things. And this is how you chose to create it. And it's absolutely beautiful, and it's possible. Thank you for leading by example.
Thank you. We're doing our best.
You're doing great.
I always think I used to hate it a lot when we first got married, because a lot of people would always say, "Oh, do you argue a lot?" and ask all these negative questions and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you say like, "Oh no, we don't argue," they're like, "Oh, wait until after the honeymoon period, or wait until you've been married a year." And I think lots of people they have this negative connotation with being married. I feel like a lot of people say like, "Oh, when you're married, all of a sudden it's like ball and chain for the husband."
Yeah.
The woman's kind of nagging him all the time, pulling him back, and it's seen as almost like a negative thing. But I think marriage is like if you're with the right person, it's like the perfect partnership to build what you want together, and leave a legacy for your children and like the world. So I think that you should never really listen to the general consensus around marriage, because I feel like it's very negative. And I think anyway, ultimately you create your own life, you create your own happiness. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what other people say.
This is so true. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. It's so true. And especially like to find couples that are living it like you guys and model it.
Yeah.
So I'm now in a new relationship, and for us it's really important to find couples like who have success track records like you, and to see, okay, what are they doing, and to simply go and model it. Because as you say, I totally agree. It's out there that like everybody has opinions about a lot of things, but results like you have, it speaks. And it's absolutely guys, if you're joining now, take notes, because this is literally gold what Amanda is saying, and also go back if it's a replay and let us know if it's a replay, see the whole interview from the beginning. So yeah,
it's so inspiring, seriously. And Thrive in the Arena, we're all about finding a crisis in your life and teaching people the steps and how you overcame it. So what was one part of your life that you would like to share with us, and what were those steps that you took to overcome it?
Okay, so one part of my life where it was like I had hardship. So when me and Samuel met, I was living in Leeds and he was living in Walsall in the West Midlands. So it was a long distance relationship. When we got married, we'd never lived with each other. And so what was going to happen was I was going to graduate from university, get married literally a week later, and then also move cities to and then start a new job in Birmingham. And a lot of people were like, "Oh my goodness, how are you going to do that?" They're like life-changing, things, such a big change. How are you going to cope? And naturally, I'm always really positive. I never think negatively. So I was just like optimistic and really excited, ready to start my new job in Birmingham. I moved and everything was fine except for my job, my environment, my workplace. It was just the worst ever. I wasn't really welcomed with open arms when I got there, which was a bit of a shock to me because I'm very friendly and I'd like to think I'm quite likable.
Yes.
So I felt like it was such a challenge because then every morning I was waking up I dreaded going to work. It was just like the worst. You know, when people say like Sunday blues before Monday and you're thinking, it's work tomorrow. I had that like times 100% because it was just like the thought of going into work, literally I'd cry and I'd just be like, oh, but I just thought, oh, I have to do it. So I was going in, wasn't happy, dreading it all the time. It kind of made me anxious and I was just always like, ugh. But I also felt like just because of the environment, I felt like there was lots of tension all the time. I knew the people didn't really like me. I don't know why, but they just didn't like me. And the environment that I was in, every time I went into the office, it felt really negative and it felt like I couldn't grow in that environment. As a person and in my career, I knew that I wasn't really gonna go anywhere from that because it was just such a hostile environment for me. So for me, that was like one of the worst times in my life. And I used to tell Samuel, and he was really supportive, and he was just like, you know, whatever you want to do it. But
oh, we can't hear you.
Give us 1 second, guys.
Sorry. Yes, it was there for me. So how I overcame this, firstly, I removed myself from the situation. So I feel like if you're ever in a situation where it's negative or affecting you badly, where it's affecting your emotions, then it's always a good thing to remove yourself. So I started looking for other jobs. I think I was there for maybe 2 months. And within those 2 months, I was already looking to move, to go somewhere else where it wasn't there. And also what kept me going through the time that I was there was just gratitude. So whenever I am in a bad situation, I always think of things that I am grateful for. I think it's really important to acknowledge the good things, even when you're in bad times, to acknowledge the good things, have a grateful mind and a grateful heart. Because yes, I was hating my job, but at least I had a job to go to. At least I was earning money, So that was one part that also kept me going. And I have a mindset of growth. So sometimes when something's hard, I think, okay, it's really hard, but challenges make you grow. And if everything was always easy in life, you'd never grow as a person. So I also just thought to myself, like, yes, it's really hard. And it was like horrible. But I think as a person, I grew. I probably got a bit more thick skin because I'm quite a sensitive person. So it made me, I feel like it made me grow as a person, and I was ready for wherever I was going to be moving on to next. I was going to be a bit more thick skinned and just like ready to go. But also another thing is that a good philosophy to always have is that everything happens for a reason. But not only does everything happen for a reason, I like to think that everything happens for a reason, and that reason is to serve you. So I just thought to myself, right, okay, yeah, everything happens for a reason, and it's to serve me. What's going to come out of this? How can I turn this bad thing into a good thing? And I think it's a good philosophy to have, because if you're always a person that just thinks, oh, everything just happens to me and this is bad, you're never really in control. So I think it's a good philosophy. So that's something that helped me overcome it. Just thinking like, right, okay, this is happening to me. Yes, I don't like it. Okay, what can I do now to change this? Ultimately, I'm the creator of my own life. I'm the creator of my own happiness. The job wasn't making me happy. The space that I was in wasn't making me happy. So I had to change that. And I think lots of people that I know don't like.
Oh, we can't hear you again.
After that experience, especially, I just think, why would you stay in that job if you don't like it? Life's too short to stay in a place where you feel stifled and it's negative and it's not helping you grow in any way. So that's how I overcame it. I overcame it by removing myself from the situation. I overcame it by being grateful for the things that I did have, and also just keeping in my mind that everything happens for a reason, and then taking that and trying to switch it into a positive for me. And ultimately, after I moved from there, I moved into a better work environment. I made friends in the area. It was much more positive, and I was happier. and that was good for me. So yeah, that was a tough time, but those are the things that I probably say helped me overcome that.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, it's okay.
Especially what you shared now is big value to people, because this strategy that you shared right now, so to look into new ways to get away and to find a new place if people are not satisfied where they are right now. This shows a growth mindset. It shows that wherever people are, they can raise their standards. Wherever they are, we're not like tree people that we need to be stuck somewhere. Which is so powerful, and also beautiful. I love your heart, like the magic of gratitude. It's so important. And if we think of the season that we are right now, that so many people are literally like having a hard time, and with this strategy that you just shared, and having a growth mindset, and also how you said it, that life happens for us, and that it's always like turning to the positive is so powerful. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
And
Thank you.
what was the moment, because you mentioned you did personal development, right? So what got you into personal development, and what are the things that you've learned from that?
Okay. What I saw when I met Samuel, I'd never really even explored. I didn't even really know personal development was a thing, and he sort of put it in my mind. He got me books.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Okay, we're coming back, guys. Give us 1 second. Yeah.
Got me books. He got me like CDs, Jim Rohn, Jeff Olson, and he sort of introduced me to this. And I didn't pay that much attention to it at the time, but I just thought, oh, interesting. And then it was when I had my daughter in 2017. I was just thinking like, oh, I want to be a really good role model for her and any future children that we have. And I just want to be the best version of myself. And just generally as a person, I think there's so much potential within someone. I thought I want to unlock that, and I want to live life to the fullest. So then I started thinking, okay, what can I do? And then Samuel said, I've got this opportunity. You can go to Enlightened Warrior Camp with Successful. But I was torn. I was in two minds, because my daughter was 7 months old when the camp was going to be happening. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I'll have to leave my daughter. I was breastfeeding at the time. I couldn't imagine it. I was like, how can I leave her? I was like, as much as I want to go, I just don't know if it's the right time. And he was just like, it's up to you. And I was just like, okay. In the end, I decided to go, and it was quite a hard decision, because I really didn't. She was a baby at the time, but I decided to leave, and it was like the best decision that I ever made, because I think all the stuff that I learned there, that's when I really got the ball rolling with my personal development. It was like, wow, there's this whole other world where I was just enlightened. I was really, really enlightened. So that really like struck something in me. And then that year, I also went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within. And all these philosophies and all these things that I was learning, I was like, wow, this is amazing. You always want to go to more and more and more and more and more, because I think as a person, you can never stop learning. You can never stop growing. So it's such a good thing. And I think being like sort of aware of that, and now that I'm able to better myself every day, I think I'm a better person to be around as well, with other people. And I think that I'd like to think as well that I inspire other people that are around me. And I feel like everyone always says like, oh, you're like a breath of fresh air and so much light. And I like that, because I do want to be seen as, oh, Amanda's positive, happy, always optimistic. And I think that really helps with all the books that I
Oh, we can't hear you.
Press.
Thanks. So yeah, so I think personal development is such a good thing because you learn how to empower yourself, and nothing's more important than you, because if you're empowered, then you can never be the victim. You always take responsibility for everything, and instead of being the victim from it and like crying about it all the time, you can just learn from it, move on, and grow as a person. So that's what I love about personal development and constantly learning.
That's beautiful.
Amazing.
I saw that you posted also a book that you were reading lately. I think it was yes. What is this? Can you share a little bit about that? And
it's so good. It's just about how little things that you can do daily can make all the difference. So
wow.
it's like the compound effect of everything that you do. So for example, if you ate junk food every single day, in each day, it might not seem like it makes a big difference. Having a burger every day, it might just seem like, oh, fine. But over a long amount of time, you might have high cholesterol. You might have all these issues and problems, health complications, because of having a burger every day. So like one of the philosophies in the book is, the saying is something like, successful people do things that unsuccessful people are not willing to do, something like that. But it's like little things. So basically, successful people are successful because they're willing to do all the little things that unsuccessful people are not, because it's easy not to do little things. So for example, it's easy not to exercise for even just 5 minutes a day. It's easy not to do that. But if you did that 5 minutes every single day, you're probably going to be better off than the person that doesn't. So I think it's just such a good, the book is just great. It's just telling you that little changes, little habits that you have in your life can make all the difference. It's a really, really good book. I'd recommend it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
we're gonna audible.
check it out. Yeah.
Thank you. And also, in this season, if people would, what you said, to use this compound effect, if we would use this more also in the self-development part, what would be possible? If people are changing careers now and they would educate themselves just a little bit, little by little. This is so true. Amanda, what is a positive mindset for you, my love? Like how, because we hear this all the time. Okay, Amanda's coming back. Give us 1 second. We hear this. Hey. We hear this all the time, like having a positive mindset. But how can a person who is not exposed yet or who is new in the self-development world, so if this is like their journey and they're like here very new in their self-development world, how can they start having a positive mindset?
I think it can start with a simple thing of every day just sitting down and thinking of even just naming 3 things that you're grateful for. So having a gratitude journal.
Okay.
If you're totally new to it, I think that's like a good way to start, because if you're not a positive minded person, you might just always see the negative in everything, and you can never just you never just wake up and just think, oh, I'm grateful for my health, my good health. I'm grateful for my job that I get to go to. I'm grateful for the house. I'm grateful that I have a bed to sleep in every night. I'm grateful for food. So I think if you start with a gratitude journal and you just every day just write down 3 things, that will, I'm sure, make you focus on good stuff and make you positive. And I think it's scientifically proven that expressing gratitude and receiving gratitude, it actually releases I think it's dopamine and serotonin in your brain, some chemicals that actually make you feel good scientifically. So I think if it can't harm you, why not try it? Just give it a go and see how you feel. That's a good start, I think. And also it just helps you focus on good things. So instead of just waking up and just thinking, oh, it's Monday, I have to wake up or whatever, just think, okay, right, what am I grateful for today? So I think gratitude journal is a good start. And I'd recommend that. Definitely take that away. Whoever's watching, start a gratitude journal if you don't have one already.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love that. We love turning to gratitude, especially in this season. And I was thinking too. So when you changed job, when you changed your career in that moment,
Yeah.
and you were starting to write your gratitude journal, how did you focus? Was it easy in the beginning, or did you say to yourself like certain things? Okay, Amanda, we're going to do this now because we want another outcome. How can a person encourage themselves more?
Oh,
we can't hear you.
okay. So how can they encourage themselves more?
Yeah.
One thing I learned when I went to Enlightened Warrior Camp, it was a saying, it's one of the affirmations, and it's something, I think it's a warrior does not try. You don't try to do anything, you choose to, or you choose not to. So first of all, you shouldn't think, oh, I'm gonna try and do this. Like, you shouldn't try and encourage yourself. When you wake up in the morning, you either choose to be a happy, positive person, or you choose not to be. That's what I think anyway. So yes, and I know, like, yeah, there's, it's not to say that like I'm always happy. Yes, there's like things that happen in life that make you sad and stuff, but I think it's really important to realize that you don't have to sit in bad feelings and sit in negativity and just feel horrible. You can choose, and it's not like, 1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm sad, like, but I think you do have a choice in how to do stuff. So how would you encourage yourself? Well, for starters, if you decide that I want to do something, just do it. Or maybe like if you want more guidance to encourage yourself, just think, right, okay, say for example, I always use like weight loss, but say for example, you want to lose weight, right? Okay. Whenever you do something, just think to yourself, is this thing helping towards that goal, or is it not? Is it on path or is it off path? And maybe that's like a way that you can encourage yourself. So you can just think, oh, you're walking down the street. There's McDonald's there. I think I want to go and have a burger. Oh, wait, is that going to serve me? Is that getting me closer to my goal, or is it taking me away from my goal? So I think ultimately to encourage yourself, you just have to choose to do it, and maybe to just keep check of yourself along the way. Just ask yourself the question, is this thing that I'm doing right now helping me get towards where I want to be ultimately, or is it taking me away from that? And that's all you can do. And I'm sure that would probably help encourage you, encourage you to stay on path, towards whatever you're looking to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So basically powerful questions that will help you come out of whatever's going on and lead you to another direction.
Yeah, I think so.
Beautiful. And what would you say are the 3 takeaways that you would like to give people to live a happier life
in this season, especially?
Yeah. In this season, okay. So especially in this season, I'd say so there's a saying that says,
oh, we can't hear you. We need to hear this.
Yeah, it's important. It's important. Come back.
It's like keeping me on my toes. I keep. So the saying, and it says, "What you focus on expands." So what you focus your time on is what I guess takes up all the stuff, all the space in your brain. And like I'm a Christian, so I have a faith, and like even in the Bible, it has like verses. There's one verse in particular that says like, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is pure, you should keep your mind set on those things. So I think it never serves a person to focus on negative things. So for example, we in our house, we never just have the news on. Some people just have the news on in the background constantly.
Yeah.
I just don't see, like, it's just bad news. It's never like, oh, this great things happened today. Like, it's never positive, or it might be one positive story, but 90% of it is negative. And at the moment, especially with, you know, with the COVID-19 and everything, it is really sad to see there's lots of deaths and constant reporting on that. And I think if you're someone especially who's quite a sensitive person or easily swayed mood-wise, I'd recommend that you don't focus on bad news, because it's never going to serve you. It's never going to help you. So I think focus your thoughts on positive, good things. So for example, right now, yes, we're stuck at home and it sucks and it's horrible, but if you've got a family or if you've got people around you, focus on them and think, oh, I'm getting extra time with this person that I wouldn't usually have with them. Write letters of gratitude to people. That's something that I'm going to be doing.
That's an amazing idea.
Wow. I always think like, oh, I want to write, a letter from my mom or someone to say how much I appreciate them, and I never have time to do it. Now I'm stuck at home, I'm going to write a letter for everyone. Do something that's positive.
Me too.
Yeah. So we're stuck at home, but then just think of all the things that you can do, positive things. You might even learn a new skill in this time. Read books, grow yourself. I think there's always an opportunity for good, even in bad times. You might come out of this, speaking a different language. I know some of my friends are learning to speak a different language. Use the time to do something positive, or even just to relax. If you don't want to do anything, just relax and just take the time as like time to sort of reset, refocus, and plan for when we're out of.
Well, we can't hear you.
The sound
again.
Yes. So yeah. And I'd say as well, another thing, focus on only things that you can control. So you can't control, for example, the weather. So don't ever moan about the weather, because you can't control that. So there's no point saying like, oh, it's raining. Like, okay, it's raining. So what? I think you should only focus on things that you can control, that are in your control. And if you can change something, change it. And if you can't, then just deal with it, because that's life. There's some things that you can't change. But I think if there's anything that's in your control to change, then change it. So yeah, focus on good things, because what you focus on expands and it does affect you. Right. And also just only focus on things that that are within your reach, which you can control. So that's one thing that I'd say. Also, another way that I'd say how you can live a positive, happy life, I think, remember always that you create your own reality. Boom. So, and your happiness, I think you should never lean on your happiness to come from a thing or a person, because that's just not life. I think you should always love yourself and you create happiness within yourself. If you have a partner, your happiness shouldn't come from that person. You should be a whole person yourself before you're with that person. So I think that if you're thinking of creating your own reality, I think you should be someone that always takes responsibility for things, not blame others all the time or feel like you're the victim. Just, and I know it's hard, it's not easy, because naturally, I think as humans, you always think you're right and the other person's wrong. But sometimes I think it's just better you like, it's, for example, when someone cuts you up when you're driving and you get angry at them, it's sort of like, it shows that your emotions are dependent on someone else. Like, just be calm. Like, don't flip out just because of someone else putting their bad energy on you or whatever. So you stay in control of your emotions, and don't let other people's crap like make you a bad person. So I'd say just always remember that you create your own reality. And if you're not happy in something and it's not making you happy, leave it. Like, I left my job. Like, don't stay in a job or stay with a person that doesn't bring out the best in you ever, because life's too short. And you've got so much potential within yourself that to waste away in a job that you don't like, or with a person that you don't like. So always keep that in mind. Do what makes you happy, and always have the growth mindset as well.
Oh, sound.
If something's hard, then it's challenging you to grow. Have that sort of mentality. And then the last one that I'd say is about the gratitude journal again. Just have have some time every morning, 5 minutes, just jot down, or in the evening, jot down 3 things that you're grateful for. I think that really, really helps you to sort of just be sort of open. There's a saying that says a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. And I kind of think I believe in God, but I know like some people think of the universe as, the giver. And I think if the universe can see that, you're so grateful for what you do have, then you sort of, with a full heart, you're sort of open to receiving more than if you're just someone that just moans about everything all the time. Then it's like, okay, you don't deserve anything else then. But I think if you're grateful with whatever it is, whether it's little, whether it's a lot, I think a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. I really think that. So I definitely say just have that time where you can express gratitude, write down what you're grateful for, and that will definitely help you be a better, more positive person. And it's scientifically proven as well. So definitely do that. So those are my 3 points that I'd like everyone to take away. So remember that you create your own reality. So you create your own happiness. It's all within your control. Also, what you focus on expands. Remember that. So focus on good things, positive things, and only focus on things that you can control. And then lastly, gratitude. Have a gratitude journal and just always think of the things that you're grateful for every morning or in the evening, reflecting. That's what. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And while you were miracles. I love to call it this way. Guys, this is Amanda's miracle strategy.
I love that.
So if you want personal life, you're gonna apply and you're gonna take the steps of Amanda's miracle strategy. And I was thinking of maybe like people who need to be now in a job in this season that they maybe don't like. Maybe they lost like a job. I was listening today, I think in America, 22 billion people lost their jobs, something like that, like really crazy number. And I'm not really sure about the number, but it was like a freaky number, like really big like that. And I was thinking, if a person is like in a job that they don't like, to also remember that it's only a season. Amanda, come back. Please come back. Amanda, come back. So I was thinking of that to share. It's important to share that it's only for this season, and if you apply this miracle strategy, right, they can move to another job even if it's in this season. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I also think that nothing is permanent. So right now, I totally get it's really hard for a lot of people. I don't think there's anyone who hasn't been affected by what's going on right now. And I think it's really important to focus on just like thinking, right, okay, this too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. And just try, doing your best to sort of visualize the end and the light at the end of the tunnel. Because it is really hard and it's really uncertain because we don't even know how long this is going to go on for. So this is, it's such an uncertain time right now. But I just say, stay hopeful, and don't like constantly look at the news because that really won't help. And I'm not saying like be ignorant and, be like la 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 la, but I think that, you should just focus on what you can that's actually going to serve you right now. Say if you've lost your job, if you're a person that's lost their job, just think, okay, it might be that you didn't even like your job anyway and you're just doing it because you just had to. Maybe after this, maybe better a skill or learn something or do something that's going to help you actually get the job that you actually do want, maybe. I don't know, but just focus on focus on the things that are within your control right now. And I don't know, learn a new skill and just, I don't know. I really don't know, but definitely just do your best to stay positive and to just visualize things being good in the end.
That's powerful.
That's
powerful.
That's really because it is hard. I appreciate that. It's really, really difficult right now.
And visualization is such a big thing. It's so powerful to
Yeah.
look into, especially when we're choosing new things in our life, because we need to make it up somewhere. So why not create a picture?
Time I actually created a vision board. I always say like, oh, I want to create a vision board, but I never have time. And then I found the time to do it.
Bravo.
Yeah, create a vision.
Oh, we can't hear you.
So we stated create a vision board, guys. Yeah.
Create a vision board.
Yeah.
And like, if it seems really absurd and crazy, just put it on there and like focus on that and like see what are the little steps that you can take to get towards those goals that you've got on your vision board. And hopefully, you never know, like some people, maybe you've wanted to start an online business or something, it's probably a good time to start. I don't know. Just do whatever you can in this time. Make the most of it. Everything happens for a reason. Think of why this has happened to serve you. I don't know.
Wow, that's powerful.
Beautiful. Thank you. So guys, why is and how is this serving us? I love your words, my dear friend Amanda, and thank you so much for sharing your precious time and your miracle strategy with us.
I love them.
I'm gonna call it the miracle.
Yes, of course. We want you to have it. We love you.
So Amanda,
team girlfriend.
Where can people find you, Amanda, if they want to follow you?
If you want to follow me, I'm really active on Instagram. And my name on Instagram is Amanda T Leeds. That's just my name, Amanda T Leeds. Or on Facebook, Amanda Leeds. But Instagram is where I'm most active. So feel free to follow me on there. And I'll be looking to start sharing more of my story and more positivity on there. But it's always positive. Yeah, do check me out on there.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for being on our show. We love you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. Ladies, you're amazing and you're doing such an amazing job. Thank you for inspiring and encouraging everyone. I'll just say to everyone, I was saying to the girls that I always feel like they bring out the best in me. Every time I talk to them, they're always asking me questions that pull out all this goodness out of me. So thank you so much for encouraging me and being there.
It's an honor to have you as our friend, and we love you and Samuel and the kids. Thank you for leading by example. Thank you for being the light, especially in this season for so many people, guys, with your businesses and with your heart and what you stand for. Thank you so much. Love you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
Love you.
you.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.